Hello kids, good morning to one and all. Um, I hope yesterday's class you have understood about how the federalism has been practiced in our country based on three major aspects. One is linguistic policy, linguistic policy, linguistic states policy, language policy, and center and state relationship. Okay, so how they have to maintain good relationship between center and the state, they have yesterday we came to know about that one and how the era of coalition government was being started in the year 1990 onwards. Okay, so the next and the last session of this chapter is about decentralization of India. Okay, just I will annotate it to you people. Decentralization of India. So in this today's chapter, we are going to learn about decentralization of India. So many Indian states are bigger size in the population as well as in the form of what we will tell. Okay, so the biggest, if you compare the size and location of our country, can see each and every states are different from one place to another place, from one country to another country. Yes or no? Yes. So many Indian states are bigger in size also as well as in the population than countries in the when you compare with the Europe continent as well as some other continent in the world. So as well as it is a wide diversity prevails within the states with regard the problem of development. So because we are having a wide diversity, some states will have what we will tell. Some states are facing some of the problems for the development purpose. Okay, a government at the state capital cannot always correctly access the needs of the people and remote the district or a remote village area. Okay, every time the state government can't come and what we will tell, they can't fulfill the needs of the people in a very efficiently. Okay, if they are having a huge population, if they are big in size, so it is very difficult for those states also to fulfill the needs of the people for the development. So a problem will be arise for that reason. So it was therefore felt that the third tier of the government was being needed to decentralize the administration and make it more efficient and effective there. Okay. So, but the was so in this way only the concept of decentralization was being adopted for our country as well as for the enhance the spirit of federalism. This concept was been adopted in our country there. But if you think the vast country like India, it cannot be run only through two tier of the government, only central government and state government. Uh, it will be helpless as well as they can't fulfill the maximum number of the needs of the people, wants of the people there. So thus there is a need of power sharing within the states. So the federal power sharing in India needs the another tier of the government below that the state government. Below that the state government, they have to uh, they have to need a state government there. So the decentralization power was being took place. So thus resulted the third tier of the government was being emerged in our country. That is we call in the name of local government. So when the power is taken away from some parts of the central and the state government and given to the local government, that we call it as a local government there. So the main basic idea behind decentralization means it is that the large number of people as well as large number of problems will be there, issues will be there at the local level only, at that level only. So it is a better way to understand at the local level only what are the problems they are facing and they can give the correct solution according to their problem. Okay, people have better knowledge of the problem in their localities. They also have the better ideas on where to spend the money and how to manage these things very efficiently, in which we have to take the major decisions, in which we have to implement the money. So in this way, each and everything at the local level only, if the people are starting thinking means, then if in a correct way, in efficient way, they can understand the problems what they are facing at the state level and what they are facing at the national level there. And also, it besides at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making. Okay, whatever decision making will be there, directly they can go and uh, take part in the decision making. There will be no problem because they are also they will be also the member of the any associations which regarding the village panchayat as well as municipality. So they will come to know how the decision making will be take place in our country. Each and every aspects they started coming to know at the local level only, so that it will be effective for the state level leaders as well as national level leaders to fulfill the basic needs of the people very efficiently. Because the local self government, what they will do at that level, they will try to sort out all kind of problems, and they can give the administration in a very effectively, so that at that level the people will try to understand how the government will run, on what basis, what kind of decision they will take, how the money will be spent, whatever tax we are paying to the government. Okay. So they will start thinking about a lot of things about the government, how the people will be elected, how the government will run, how the decision making process will be done. So that when some ideas will be there for the people also to learn more and more things about democracy, as well as it is very effective for the federal form of government to give um, a proper government to run smoothly at the state level as well as at the district level. Because if you consider a vast country like India, it is very difficult to adopt two tier of the government. There is a need of third tier of the government. Why it is a need is due to the huge population, as well as due to the some states are very big and some states are very small. Okay, so in that way it is very difficult for the state government also for the development, for their development, state to state development, it will become very difficult for them to lead towards the development. So that is why they came to aware of decentralization of the power. So as a result they adopted the another tier of the government in our country, that is local government. There in the local government we will bifurcate into two parts. One will be the village panchayat and second one will be the municipality in the towns and city area. And also it is best way to realize the important principles of democracy through the decentralization of power. So panchayat municipalities were all set up in the all kind of states. In the all states we will see the this kind of setup. In the cities as well as in the urban areas we will see the municipalities. In the village area we will see the panchayat. Okay, but these were directly under the control of state government. These local government will be under the control of state government area. So the major step towards the decentralization was taken in the year 1992. So the constitution was been amended because they adopted only two tier before. According to the situation, according to the population, they adopted the two tier of the government. When the population suddenly increased in our country, the people started feeling that one more government should there, so that at the local level only we can solve a lot of problems. Okay, for an example, in your area if you are having the water problem, if you are having electricity problem, you can't go and meet the MLAs and MP, because MLA and MPs are they are responsible towards the whole district there. Okay, as well as one district or another district. So it is very difficult for them also to solve this, to sort out your problems at the local, at this level only. So what they will do, if the third tier government, if we are adopting the third tier of the government, means it is very easy. At that level you can go and complain to the municipalities, you can go and complain to the panchayat that we are facing in our area, we are facing such difficulties, so try to solve our problem. Okay, so at that level only your problem will be solved, and it is unnecessary to go towards the higher authority, that is MLAs and MPs, those who that you people have been elected for your service. So every time it will find little bit difficulty for them also to fulfill the needs of the people. So by thinking the future generation, they adopted the decentralization, so that once again we can share the power with another type of government at the local level only, so that whatever problems, whatever needs will be there at that level, we can fulfill it. Okay. So and some powers were being given to the local government there, so that the constitution was being amended to make a third tier of a democracy more powerful and effective. It should be a more powerful and effective, so that at that level only they can do all kind of they can give the all kind of solution to the people, as well as they can run a government very smoothly there. If they want any kind of demand, if they want any kind of money means, they can go and approach towards the state government, and the some fund will be kept for the this development purpose only, so that for state government also it will become very easy to understand the problems of the people, and they can also think about the future there, okay, for the development purpose. And now after some amendments, the constitution gave more power to the local government for the effective administration. At present, now it is mandatory to hold the regular election at the local government bodies as well as local bodies there. So for the municipalities and as well as for the village panchayat, compulsory they have to hold the election regularly, and we have to select the representative at that level. Okay, according to that one, some powers were being given to the local government also. According to that one, sorry. So according to that one, the seats are been reserved in the elected bodies and the executive head of these institution. Okay, of these institution. Some seats are being reserved for SC, ST, and OBC candidates. Compulsory, we have to reserve the seats for these people. So first one, after the 1992 amendments, these are the powers were being given to the local government there. So the basic idea behind the decentralization, I have told the problems as the issues at the best local level only, we can sort it out. People have the better knowledge and the idea. People directly participate in the decision making, and also they can inculcate the democratic participation, how the decision will be taken place, how the budget will be announced in the national level as well as state level. They will try to understand how the government will run at the local level. Okay, so after 1992 amendment, these are the basic ideas why we adopted the decentralization. I have told even the need of decentralization also. Okay, the local government will be under the control of state government. Election were not regular, but now after 1992 amendments, we have to hold regular elections in the local level there. So some seats are being reserved for SC, ST, and OBC. These are the procedure, and these are the changes what took place after 1992 amendment there. Okay, the state election commission conduct the election at the local level. Even the state election commission will be there. They will have the authority to hold the election at the local level. Okay, and state government share the power as well as resources with this local self-government there. And structure of local self-government, we will divide into two parts. One will be the rural and another one will be the urban. Rural government is popularly known as Panchayat Raj. Each village or a group of a village in some states, we call it as a Gram Panchayat. Based on the population, we will have the Gram Panchayat in some states. What they will do, they will group some villages. 5 villages they will do the group, and there will be one Gram Panchayat. Okay, some states they will follow. In some states, what they will do, for each village they will have the village panchayat there. So some states they will follow this one, some states they will follow this one. So that kind of group of village, group of panchayat, we call it as a gram panchayat, and it consists 5 panchas, and once the head of the panchas will be there called sarpanch. Okay, for the elections, what they will do, they will divide the village into certain wards. According to that one, according to the ward, they have to go and vote their representative. Ward number 1, ward number 2, ward number 3, ward number 10. Like that, they will divide the village into certain wards. According to that one, when elections are being held, they should go and vote for their representatives there. They should not go and vote for some other ward member. They should vote for their ward member only. Okay, so the structure of village panchayat is, they will consist the several ward members will be there, and often they call it as a panchas. In the name of panchas we will call, and for those panchas one president will be there called sarpanch. So these all people are being elected by the people at the village area. Okay, they are directly elected by all the adult population that are living in the ward as well as in the village. Ward means in the cities and towns area we will see the wards as well as some wards. If they are having group of villages means we will see the wards there. Okay, the decision making body for the entire village will be there. Okay, the entire village will, they will participate in the decision making. The panchayat works under overall supervision of gram sabha. Gram panchayat is different, gram sabha is different. Okay, and they have to meet once or twice or thrice in a year, and they have to decide what is the budget of this year, how they should spend the budget, at which level they have to spend the budget there. So the local government structure goes right up to the district level. A few of gram panchayat are being grouped together and they will form called mandala as well as samiti. This mandal or a samiti, at the district level they will group among themselves. Okay, all the village sarpanch will be there. They will sit together at the district level and they will form one mandal there. So the members of this representative body are being elected by all the panchayat members in their respective areas. All the panchayat samitis or mandal in the district together we call it as a Jilla Parishad. So in the Jilla Parishad, MLA MP will be there as well as the leader of Jilla Parishad. Those among those leaders only they will elect one more leader as their head. So the political leaders will be involved in the Jilla Parishad, so that at the district level, for which kind of villages we have to give what kind of facilities to the people, how we have to improvise the rural areas as well as remote control areas in the village area. In the Jilla Parishad, each and everything will be discussed. Jilla Parishad will be at the district level. Village Panchayat will be at particular village state. So this is the difference between Jilla Parishad and village Panchayat. Jilla Parishad, you all know, whatever village Panchayat members will be there, they will form one association as well as they will form one mandala as well as samiti together at the district level, that we call it as a Jilla Parishad there. So in the Jilla Parishad, the members of Lok Sabha, that is MLAs, MPs will be there for the district, and for some other officials of other district level bodies are also its member. Jilla Parishad chair member is the political head of Jilla Parishad also. Similarly, local government bodies also exist in the towns and city area as well as in the urban areas as well. We call in the name of municipalities are being set up in the towns. Big cities are constituted into the municipal corporation, and in the small cities we will call it as a municipalities. Once again we will bifurcate the in the urban areas the local government into two parts. At the small towns and cities will be there now, there will be one municipality. Okay, if the population in the towns and cities area is very more and it is more populated and more developed city means we call as a municipal corporation. So both municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by the elected bodies, by the consisting the people's representative. So in the towns and cities area, the areas will be divided into wards, certain wards. Those ward members, they will stand in the election, and if they win in the election means they will become the member of municipalities as well as municipal corporation. Okay, for an example, Gadag, it is having the municipality. Okay, the ward member will be there which will be elected by the people. But in cities like Bangalore and Hubli Dharwad, if they are standing in the election means for them we call it as a corporators, because it is a corporation, because the big based on their population, based on the development basis, we convert the municipalities into municipal corporations there. So these are also elected by the people directly. So municipal chairman is the political head of municipality. Municipal chairman, among those members, only one member will be elected as a head of the municipality, and they will do the development work at the cities and towns area level. Okay, and in the municipal corporation, among themselves, only one mayor will be elected. So one person will be elected. That person we call in the name of mayor. That officer we call it as a mayor. Mayor will handle all the situation at the city level there with the help of his members. So this new system of local government is largest experiment in a democracy conducted anywhere in the world. Now there are 36 lakh elected representatives at the local level at present. 36 lakh members are elected as a representative at the local level there. So that these 30 lakh members, 36 lakh members, they will do the development work at the local level only. So it is an experiment for the successful of democracy, which has been conducted anywhere in the world. So it also, when the third tier of the government, local government was been adopted, decentralization took place in our country. Some changes we saw in the administration, some changes we saw in the society also. In what ways people started getting awareness about the how the government will run, how the decision making will be done, whatever financial matters will be there, whatever tax you are paying towards the government, how that tax will be implemented in the local level there, as well as state level, as well as national level. And also it increase the women representative and voice in our democracy. If they are facing any kind of problem, freely the women representatives, they can raise their voice, and whatever problems will be there, it will be sorted out. Okay, so in this way, a lot of changes, lot of changes we will see in the society when third tier of the government came into existence in our country. At the same time, there are many difficulties also. While the elections are held regularly, enthusiastically, Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. At present, some difficulties, even though this kind of amendments are being taken place, regular elections are being held, but in Gram Sabha, we will not see the regularly, we will not see the elections are being held. Most of the state government have not transferred the significant powers to the local government. Some of the states still they have not given some powers to the local government there, so that they can work independently for the effective result. Nor they have given adequate resources, nor they are giving any kind of resources for the development first, nor they have given we are still a long way from the realizing the ideal self government. Why we have to adopt this kind of government means it is a long process to understand why we adopted this decentralization power in our country. Okay, and the constitution provisions has been given. Regularly they have to hold the elections, as well as they have to elect the representatives. Well, in some states we will not see the gram sabhas, as well as the village municipalities, municipal corporations, the regularly elections are not being held there, as well as the state government will not give sufficient powers to the local government to run in an effective way, as well as they will not give any kind of resources, money resources, as well as some resources which will be helpful for the development purpose. Still we are lacking behind to give more powers to the local government there, even though the positive results are more. But even even that positive results also, we are facing some of the difficulties to understand why we have adopted the decentralization power, why we have to share the power to the local government. Still it is a long process to understand, as well as to realize the ideal as well as the principles of local government there. So this is all about decentralization in India. So in this way, the village panchayat and the municipalities, municipal corporations were came into existence in our country. I hope you people have understood what is the meaning of decentralization, the basic idea behind the decentralization. After 1992 amendment, what are the procedure came into existence to decentralize the power to the local government there. Okay, so I hope you people have understood. So if you are having any kind of question, just pin your question in the group so that I will try my level best to sort out your answer. So signing out, have a great day. Bye everyone.